All right, I'm sitting here with Jen. How you doing?
I'm alright. How are you?
Good. You just want to tell me a little bit about yourself, like where you're from,
Sure.
like that?
I am originally from Southwest. Then moved out to Delaware County. I'm 32 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been doing the hard drugs for? And like, what was it that started? What?
Right. So I started on the pills, like Percocet and Oxys, when I was in high school, like probably 17, and then I switched over to heroin at like maybe 21.
Okay. And so you were in with we were talking about off camera, but we were the real heroin.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, how long have you been homeless for down here now?
I've been homeless on and off because I just recently went to rehab, and then my parents were letting me stay with them, and then I started using again, and then I'm back out here again.
Okay. Now, do you enjoy the fentanyl? Like you did the dope, or like?
No, not really, because
Okay.
it really, honestly, you do it, you fall asleep, you usually wake up with all your stuff stolen, and then you wake up and you're sick.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's just a cycle.
because the withdrawal kicks in so much faster, right?
Within hours.
Man, I was talking to you off there. I say we used to be able to come down here with $25
Right.
and be good till the next day.
Yep.
That's not happening anymore, huh?
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, the first time that I did heroin, I did it at probably 12 o'clock in the afternoon and was still high the next morning.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, I remember the first time I did it was Black Tar in Pittsburgh, and the next morning, I was still throwing up, I think. So
Yeah, when I first started doing it, even when I first started doing Oxys, and that's how I knew I was an addict, because when I first started using pills, they made me throw up so over and over and over again. And I was like, well, maybe if I do a little more, I'll feel better, you know? And I just would keep doing more and more, no matter how much it made me sick.
That's why, because I started with codeine pills. I stole them from somewhere or whatever, and I would throw up every time but I just kept doing it, throwing up. But that's wild to hear someone else had to go through that crap too. Now, are you an IV?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you deal with any of the sores?
Yes.
You do? Okay. Bad ones?
Yeah, I almost lost my foot. I had to get surgery on my foot and was in the hospital for a really long time. Then I was in the hospital for my hands. My hands are stuck like this. I can't extend my fingers anymore.
What do they know what that's from?
I mean, it's from shooting in my hands, but every doctor that I've seen so far has said that they don't really have a good explanation for like why they're like that.
That's wild. So no matter what you do, they're just
the tendons are just kind of frozen. It's called contracture.
Okay. How long has it been like that for?
Maybe 9 months.
Oh wow. So you're almost getting used to it now at this point, huh? Man, now the doctor say there's something to like reverse it at some point? Or
I have to go see a hand surgeon.
Okay. All right. Because that's the thing with getting people into their treatment and stuff now. There's only 2 rehabs in Pennsylvania that take people with sores.
Really?
Yeah, Valley Forge and Eagleville.
Oh,
now,
I didn't know.
so it
like really bad sores.
Yeah.
If they're minor, then.
So they can have like tiny little ones, but
Right.
if it's a bigger, there's only because you got to get medically cleared.
Right.
So, but you do deal with, and you're an IV drug user, you said? All right. It's weird. I'm hearing people are getting the sores from smoking it and stuff.
Yes, I've talked to people who just smoke it, and they just have these. I mean, I get them in places where I haven't shot up in.
Yeah.
And they'll just pop up.
Man, that's so wild. That's so scary to hear.
Yeah.
And
I know someone who switched to shooting it after like 15 years of snorting it, because they started using this stuff up here, and it would make them want to blow their nose all the time because their nose would be runny.
Yeah.
and then they would blow their nose, and like chunks of flesh would just come out of their nose.
And you think this is all from the xylazine, the trank?
Absolutely.
So so in your opinion, that's more of the emergency, what's going on down here, than the fentanyl.
Absolutely.
So it's the xylazine is what's causing all the major problems.
Because even like if you do, let's say like you do a bag that's got a bunch of fentanyl in it and a bunch of trank in it, and you overdose, then Narcan can bring you back from the fentanyl, but it can't bring you back from the xylazine overdose.
Yeah, man. And then I was even reading an article, they're putting xylazine as the cause of death on people's death certificates now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And most rehabs are only giving you clonidine for the withdrawal.
And that's like the rehabs that I've been to. I'm usually, especially, I mean, like I said, I just went to rehab, so I got my weight up a little bit now. But you can ask anybody who saw me at pre-rehab. I was about 94 pounds.
Really? Because you look super healthy right now.
Yeah, that's just because I got out of rehab a few weeks ago.
Okay.
But so since I'm usually very small, my blood pressure is usually lower.
So they can't give you the clonidine.
Won't give me clonidine.
Wow.
And that's the only thing that helps mildly with the xylazine withdrawal.
So the clonidine does at least help a little bit?
A tiny bit. Not very much, to be honest.
And so when you're going into the rehab, it's what they just do, the methadone, the taper?
Right.
Did that even help in there?
When I just recently went to rehab, I was vomiting all day, every day, for 16 days straight. They only had me in the detox for 3 days because that's all my insurance would pay for, and then they put me into the regular rehab. I had 2 seizures.
So wait, how long was the taper, the methadone taper? It was a 3-day taper?
Or they started tapering me, and then I had them contact a methadone clinic from back home. And set it up so that I would start going there when I left. So then they started bringing me up instead of bringing me down on the taper.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because you were going to stay on you wanted to stay on the methadone when you left. Okay.
I couldn't handle the taper. I got down to 15 milligrams and I was in bad shape. Really bad. I was having seizures. My heart was in AFib. I was in bad shape.
That's so crazy, because like none of that stuff used to happen with the withdrawal from heroin.
Absolutely
shit
not.
Your pants a little bit, throw up.
This is absolutely insane. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
Wow. And like it's important for you to say stuff like this so people can hear, like they just, and they're doing the detox like it's just the old regular heroin.
Right, and it's not. They need to find something that alleviates the xylazine withdrawal, because people are just going to continue to AMA from rehab when it gets too hard.
Yeah,
or not go at all because they're afraid that, you know.
Well, I showed you that girl's leg, and like we had to like beg her to go.
Right.
So she was that scared of the withdrawal. Man, now have you been back on the streets long enough now where you have a physical addiction again? Because I mean that comes back really quick.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
So much faster than regular heroin.
All right, and we don't have to get into too specifics, but we were talking off air. You just lost your husband?
Yeah.
And that was just a couple months?
Yeah, just last month.
Wow, and he went to go to rehab with you, right? Or you guys went?
Yeah, we both went to rehab. We went to separate rehabs, but we both went to rehab. We were both sober, and then he got out of rehab, and within a week he overdosed and died. And then that's when I started using again, because I just couldn't take it. Couldn't cope.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. And what did he come back down here? And what did I guess IV'd it? Yeah. Now, do you think people, is it less chance of them overdosing if they snort it, or is that just bull crap too? And I hear people saying they're snorting it.
I think you can still definitely overdose if you snort it. It might not happen as fast, but there's probably a higher probability of overdosing with using an IV.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Now, do you have any desire to go get clean again, or
Yeah,
are you?
I do. I have a 4-year-old daughter that needs me, and I want to be there for her, but it's been so hard with like the whole grieving process that I feel like I can't even be there for myself right now. So it's really hard for me to, be the sole caretaker of another human being when I am barely getting through the day myself.
Sure, you got a lot of trauma you got to deal with, a lot of stuff like that. Hopefully, you know where to go to, if you're ready, when you're ready to get help.
Yeah.
And do you have sober support?
No, not really.
Not really. So,
I mean, I was going to meetings when I first got out of rehab, so I do know sober people.
Okay.
Not like super well, but I have their phone numbers, so if I need to reach out.
It's just support can be so important out there. I know I didn't do the 12 steps. I can't. I tried that for 10 years. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So I went out and found support. I did therapy, one-on-one therapy, stuff like that. But it's important to get support or to reach out and find it when you get sober.
Right.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk. Is there anything that you need that you want other than the napkins and stuff like that, sanitary?
Just like little snacks.
Just little snacks.
Stuff.
Okay.
Like the hand wipes and.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, those are important. Huh? The non-alcoholic one. The non-alcoholic
like
ones.
the ones you can use on your skin.
Yeah. Okay. And then regular napkins too, right?
Right.
Okay.
Toilet paper.
Yeah. All right, just regular toiletry stuff to make you feel human, a little bit more human.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Socks, that's a big thing.
I got some back here for
underwear.
you. All right. What size underwear?
Medium.
Mediums, okay. All right. Well, thanks again for your time. I really appreciate it. I will talk to you again soon.